Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Take on Tottenham. My name is Ben, and this is my take on Tottenham. And full-time result: Tottenham 1, Liverpool 2. As I say every single week, it seems a game of two halves. Very much so, but definitely, obviously, for Spurs because they. I said it last week. I might just start reviewing games from the second half because every time, every single week, the first half is a write-off. Not as bad as it was against Marseille, but still a write-off nonetheless because we were 2-0 down at that point. Obviously, injuries, not great. Sonny, in the week, the club announced that he's gonna undergo surgery. Around, I think he fractured his eye socket or something like that. I believe Alistair Gold said something about him potentially being able to play with a mask, but obviously he's now got to have surgery, so maybe after that. But I'm not sure if he's going to miss the World Cup, which would be really heartbreaking to see because we know how much international duty means for Sonny. So that's a shame. And obviously Richarlison was injured as well. Not really sure when he's coming back. Romero's also injured. Kulusevski was finally back today, but obviously wasn't able to start because it's his first return since injury. So it was good to have him on the bench, and we'll get into him later. But yeah, obviously we've been without him as well. So three out of our four attackers have all been injured. So it's been difficult. I will absolutely give that benefit of the doubt. Obviously, things like that affect the team lineup. So we had a bit of a weird one today because Emerson Royale was announced on the right. We'll get into him in a bit later as well because I've got a lot to say about that. And Sessegnon was on the left, but also Perisic was on the team sheet, and he was actually playing up front with Kane. Yeah, I don't know. I think Perisic might have done it a few times in his career, but obviously it's not his natural position. It didn't really work. He had chances. He had chances, but unfortunately, it wasn't something that he particularly. It's not like we found a brand new out and out striker or something to play off Kane. Yeah, he had a couple of chances, but yeah, we'll go through that. So Lloris had a save very early on to make from Darwin Nunez, and that kind of set the trend for the first half. Liverpool came out very fast, very dominating. Really taking the game to Spurs, and Spurs were doing what they do in every first half. They were sitting back. They weren't really threatening. They weren't really connecting well. Emerson Royale and Eric Dyer were particularly struggling on the right side with Nunez and Andy Robertson on that side. I personally felt Royale in particular was giving way too much room for both Robertson and Nunez because he had this trend of, in the first half, if Dyer was marking Nunez, that obviously Robertson's open, but for some reason Royale would also come and try and mark Nunez. So it was giving Andy Robertson loads of room, and like I say, loads of room, ridiculous amounts. We all know he's a brilliant crosser of the ball. We all know that Liverpool really thrive when the wing backs, kind of like us really, when the wing backs are really thriving themselves, the whole team thrives. And when Liverpool can get Trent or Andy Robertson on the ball and stuff, and we know that they can whip the ball in and stuff really well. When you're giving them loads of time to do that, not going to be good. So yeah, that was kind of a pattern I started seeing, and then that kind of led to the goal. That very thing kind of led to the goal. So Liverpool scored within about 10 minutes or so, and yeah, it was just poor. It was poor from Spurs. Again, like I said, Andy Robertson, loads of time on the ball because Dyer was marking Nunez. Royale, like I said a minute ago, took it on himself to stay near Nunez. This allowed Robertson loads of time, whip the ball in. After they realised that he was about to cross, Royale went away from Nunez. Ball came in. He then passes to Salah, who was completely open, and that's where it was poor defending from Longley, Sessegnon, Davies, because they were just completely caught ball watching. They were dragged in towards the ball where Nunez was actually, and it left Salah completely open, and completely just nice easy finish for him. To leave Salah open in the penalty area near the 6 yard line is, I think that's a really poor thing to do. It's really bad. Spurs, in their defence, they did respond, I thought, quite well. Perisic actually hit the post with a header. I think it was Kane who whipped one in, and Perisic got his head on it, and it kind of, he headed it against Alisson, and then hit the post. But it was good response from Spurs. And I did think they responded quite well in general. I know this trend of, if you compare the first half to the second half they were a completely different team, of course. But I felt their first half in this game was nowhere near as bad as the Marseille game. It was nowhere. If I had to say, it was probably one of their best first half performances that they've had. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't brilliant. It wasn't great. It wasn't good. But it was better than what they've been, which I know isn't saying a lot, but it was better. They actually looked like they wanted to respond when they went a goal down. Unfortunately, we had a massive error. Eric Dyer, I think Alisson booted the ball up. Eric Dyer looked to header it back. I don't know why. I don't know why you wouldn't just header it back towards the halfway line. And, I don't really know why from a goal kick he was trying to header it back to Lloris. But not only that, but anyway, even if you're going to get it right, I don't understand that move. But what Dyer did was he went to header it, and it kind of, I don't know if it kind of skimmed off his head a little bit. He misjudged it, skimmed off his head, hit his shoulder, messed the header up basically, and Salah obviously went through one-on-one, kind of dinked it over Lloris. It was really nice finish from Salah, but an absolute gift from our defence. We like doing that. We don't like taking gifts, but we'll give them out. It's like Liverpool today. No away wins all season. We'll give you one. We'll give you an away win. Oh God. Yeah. And that was kind of it for the first half. Second half, though, like I said, completely different team came out, as we should probably expect at this point in time. Dyer went close with a header. It was saved by Alisson. Perisic hit a bar. It was a really lovely move. Ball whipped across. Sessegnon was open. He pulled it back to Perisic, who really smashed it, and it hit the bar. It was so unlucky. Reminded me of Højbjerg's chance against Marseille in a week, actually. Sessegnon went close as well. Tried to curl it in with his right foot. Obviously, he's more left-footed, dominant, but it's a good effort. And then the instant impact came on. And this is where I'm going to go in a little bit on Royale, because I'm getting a bit fed up with it. So, really good to see Kulusevski back. Really, really good to see him back. Instant impact. We'll get into that in a sec. But Matt Doherty also came on, and I actually thought that was also of an instant impact. My problem with Emerson Royale in this team, and I say it week after week, but I'm just getting to the point where I'm so fed up of saying it week after week. I don't feel like we're any better with him in the team, and I feel like you have to pick players based on form. I don't know what form he has produced to warrant starting in the team. But I also feel like, just even if I take that out of it, I just feel like what does he add to our team? I'm watching the performance, and I watch him, and I'm just there like, if he gets the ball, he looks like he wants to go forward, and then he goes back, and he just kind of looks like he doesn't know what to do with the ball. He also he's not. I've seen him whip crosses in. He had a couple of crosses there. He had a couple of crosses that were all right, to be fair. But there was crosses like where he just looked like he just didn't know. I've said it before in previous videos where he just kind of, he'll float it in as more of a hit and hope instead of actually trying to pick someone out. And I look at it and I just don't see him being the best option as a right wing back at the club. I do think Matt Doherty is better. I think Matt Doherty gets forward better. I do think Matt Doherty. By the way, Matt Doherty, I'm not giving him a free pass here. He's had a lot of improvement that he needs to be doing. But I think he offers us a lot more. When I see Matt Doherty cross the ball, I see him try to pick people out. I see him try to go forward. I see him not afraid to go forward. I see him not afraid to try and cross it, and stuff. And I don't see that with Royale. And I would love to include Jed Spence into this conversation, but unfortunately he's just not getting a chance at the minute, so I can't include him. But I would even hold Jed Spence over Royale just because I have that little faith. I don't look at Emerson Royale and think you are the best possible option for a right wing back at our club. I just don't. And every single week I just find myself saying the same things. And the marking as well, like, it's not Serge Aurier marking by any means of the imagination, but I just find, like I said, the problem with the goal, it all started from somewhere, and that somewhere was because Andy Robertson had too much space. I feel like defensively he's not sound, but also attacking wise he's not sound either. This was kind of proven as soon as the substitutions were made, because of the fact that when Doherty came on, we've seen a link up with Doherty. He in the past, like last season, obviously before his injury last season away at Villa, Matt Doherty and Kulusevski were really linking up quite well. Like they were forming quite a nice thing, because I think what Doherty offers to Kulusevski is they can do 1-2s, and Kulusevski obviously can come in, cut in. He's got a wonderful left foot, but he can also run to the byline and bring it back, or even take a shot at goal. He's very versatile like that. But if he passes it to Doherty, if Doherty passes it to and then makes the overlapping run, it gives Kulusevski another option. Emerson Royale doesn't make those overlapping runs, and that's why I feel like we struggle, because we have a system that thrives on the wing backs, as I said earlier, and it doesn't have a wing back that is doing that job. He is more of a right back, not a wing back. So it's frustrating, and it's not great. And like I said, it to me it shows like that with Doherty. Immediately they came on, and immediately there was an impact. Doherty found Kulusevski, lovely assist to Kane, and Kane with a lovely finish into the far corner. Proper good Harry Kane finish. That was no tap-ins or anything. That was a very fierce shot, and into the far corner. It was a really good goal and a well-worked goal. And you saw Kane improve once Kulusevski came on as well. So yeah, that's just my little rant. Like I said, if we're as a team, if we're going to play a formation that needs the wing backs to be operating at their peak, we need wing backs to be good at what they're supposed to be doing. And I feel like Doherty is a better option, because he used to play wing back for Wolves. So yeah, we got a goal, and like I said, Spurs deserved that goal. I thought they came out a lot better in the second half. They were pressing, they were pressuring. And they had their chances. They did huff and puff. They weren't peppering the goal, but they were creating chances, and I saw enough from a team that actually was at least trying. You guys know I've come off these videos and I've gone straight in on that team for not trying, for not giving their all and everything. But I saw that team give it their all in that second half, and I think on the whole, I would say a point was deserved. It's a shame that it didn't, but I think on the whole, I think a draw would have been a fair result. But Liverpool took their chances, Spurs didn't. The Spurs created the chances, didn't take them. So it's the same thing. As I said about the Sporting game, wasn't focused on the VAR cock up. I was more focused on the fact that Spurs hadn't taken all the chances they were creating, and they've found that they've had that problem again today. I thought Bissouma was excellent today as well. I thought Bissouma was really good. He very non-stop the whole game. I thought he was excellent in possession. A couple of wayward passes, but I felt he was really good today. I was really impressed with him. Bentancur, Højbjerg as well, I thought were played really well, giving it their all again in midfield. Brian Hill, I wanted to see Brian Hill and I didn't, and I really was hoping I would. I saw him bring Lucas Moura on. I was just like, why can't you bring Brian Hill on? Why can't you bring Brian Hill on? I don't know. I just think he can be tricky, and I think that's what you need a bit. I don't find that with Lucas Moura anymore. Kane, again, better game in the second half. The whole team was better in the second half, of course, but Kane was a lot better when Kulusevski came on as well. And yeah, Dyer in the second half as well. He was pushing up a lot more. I found him more in the right wing back position than usual. Better deliveries needed definitely, but it was good to see him pushing forward. And Perisic, he was better when he was more in a natural position. So yeah, look, it wasn't a great performance, as a whole. But the second half, I thought they were great. I did. I think they were. So the second half, again, as I keep saying, second half. But yeah, they can't keep starting games like this. They can't. It's very obvious. They can't. You can't keep giving teams leads and hoping that you'll respond in a way. They need to shut up shop and tighten up the defense as well. But also start off on the front foot. Come out, set an example, and just go at them. They've shown that's the annoying thing with Spurs at the minute is they're showing that what they've got in the tank. They've shown that they can be relentless. They've shown that they can keep coming at you. They've shown that they can create chances. They've shown that they can be a problem. But they only do it for one half. So Spurs, opposition teams are knowing that they can, if they come out the first half and get in the front foot and get an early goal, they can set a precedent for the rest of the game. Again, it's fine doing it against the Bournemouths of the league, but Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, it seems like these you're going to get punished, and Spurs have been punished by that. So, yeah, we need to be better for sure. It's annoying because I see the signs that are there for a team that can go somewhere. They're just struggling at the minute to do it for 90 minutes, and I don't know why. But yeah, I'm not going to go in on them too much. I think there was a couple of individual performances that really sucked tonight, but I think on the whole, the team really, like I said, even the first half, as it wasn't they weren't great compared to what they were like in the second half, of course, but for the first half, I did see a response. I did see some improvement, and I have to give them credit for that. And obviously, in the second half, they did enough to get the draw, hopefully, but obviously they didn't. So yeah, we are in action on Wednesday night, Nottingham Forest in the Carabao Cup, and then we have Leeds in the Premier League after that on Saturday next week as well. So yeah, that'll be two difficult games. Nottingham Forest are kind of up and down at the minute, so it'll be a difficult game. It was a difficult game the first time we went there, so it'll be tricky. So we'll have to turn up because it'd be nice to hopefully win a cup this season. I'm pessimistic as always, as you know, but it starts with Nottingham Forest, so yeah, we'll see where we are in that one. So if you like what you've seen, hit all that subscribe stuff and whatever. Let me know what you thought about the game down below. What do you think about how we're doing at the minute with this first half no show, second half show type performances? Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video on Wednesday night. And as always, come on, Spurs.